Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory.
Cut.
What?
That's a good opening. It's a good opening for our show here on TrentoVision on the 4th of December. But, you know, I'm getting a little tired of it. I think we have a better opener for our folks.
You want to play this one? Okay.
Let's try our new
Al-Qaeda
opener.
is on the path to defeat, and Osama bin Laden is dead. I said we'd refocus on the people who actually attacked us on 9/11. And today, Al-Qaeda's on the run, and Osama bin Laden is dead.
Whoa, man.
I said we'd focus on the terrorists who actually attacked us on 9/11, and we have, and bin Laden is dead.
You know what?
Al-Qaeda's been decimated. Osama bin Laden is dead. We have made
Okay, that's our new opening. I think we'll open every day.
With that?
I think so.
Well,
but
it's true.
But somebody ought to tell the octogenarian in the Senate.
The oldest person of the Senate.
The oldest person in the United States Senator. Ladies and gentlemen, call in right now, though you can't call in, and we will give you a new Ferrari. If you can call in right now, we have a new Ferrari for you. Okay. Try calling. And the number is
You'll probably be getting a phone call on your.
Oh yeah, my cell phone's gonna start ringing. Except you don't know when now is.
There it is.
Oh, look at this headline. There are new bombs, very big bombs. Dems admit terror threat to America rising. This is out of BizPac Review. Our friends Jack Fenari and others over there who put together a tremendous, tremendous website that deals with all things political, educational, national security. And a day or two ago, and in fact over the weekend, today's Wednesday, December 4th. Hi everybody, Tom Trento here. The octogenarian in the United States Senate, John McCain, no. What would be some other guesses?
Another guess would be Lieberman. That'd be a good.
He's out though. He's out.
Well, he's not in the Senate.
Yeah, he's out. He was in the House, but he's out. Ted Cruz. He's a senator.
Well, no, he's not 80.
He's not 80?
No.
We saw him the other day. We were talking to him. Doesn't look a day over 79 or so. He's 40 years old or whatever. 45.
Well, Kerry, he was in the Senate, but
he looks 80. Kerry does.
Yeah, but he's got the facelift thing going.
Yeah, but every other week he looks 70, then he looks 80, then he looks 70, then he looks 80. The octogenarian.
The guy from Utah, the Orrin Hatch.
Orrin Hatch, good one, but he's not.
Really?
He's not the oldest.
Now, how long has Harry Reid been dead?
That's another one. We got to get their ages.
Isn't Harry Reid a zombie, Mark?
But the oldest member of the United States Senator, 80 years old on June 22nd, 2013, is from the great state, there she is, of California, Dianne Feinstein, 80 friggin' years old. Man, do you believe it?
Now, did she actually just... You know what? She's old enough.
Mailman! The mail's out there. But
she's old enough to remember when the Democratic Party wasn't the Socialist Party.
Yeah, she is. She is. And she has a fascinating background. But for our purposes today on this show...
What's her full name, Tom?
I'll get it later.
Are you making fun? Are you making fun?
No. She's had 2 or 3 husbands, so she's got a real long name. They're all Jewish people, so it's all like these 18-mile-long Jewish names. But more importantly, she's worth about 100 mil.
100 million.
How do you? Something is wrong with that. You know, you're a public servant, and I'm a capitalist speaking. You're a public servant. But somehow you have 85 years in government and you're worth $100 million. Is there any cause and effect?
A lot of speaking engagement.
No relationship whatsoever.
No, not.
But she, for our purposes, she sits on a very critical committee, the Select Senate Committee on Intelligence, on the Senate side. In fact, she is the chair. So Dianne Feinstein is the chair of the committee that oversees our intelligence community. And this past weekend, and this is going to be a key part of our show, we got a couple of videos for you, she admitted to Candy Crowley, who doesn't look a day over 90. Wait until you see this faccia brutta in Italian.
She looks like she ate what Al Sharpton lost.
She does. And we love people of larger size because both Mark and I are in those positions. But
I'm disappearing in front
you
of
are
your eyes.
disappearing before our very
He's trying
eyes.
to take Invisible Mike's job.
That's right.
Invisible Mark.
Invisible Mark.
We have on today's show at 6 minutes after 3 o'clock on Wednesday, the 4th of December, we have an analysis of what Dianne Feinstein, the chair of this key committee, said about, what did the president say again about Al-Qaeda?
Al-Qaeda is on the path to defeat, and Osama bin Laden is dead.
Okay, that's what he said. But we have Dianne
He has said
Feinstein.
it more than one time.
Who actually attacked us on 9/11, and today Al-Qaeda's on the run, and Osama bin Laden is
Okay.
dead.
Dianne Feinstein, his number one senator from the state of California, his number one state, kind of disagrees with the president. The president has become a caricature of himself. You know that? People have an image of Barack Obama, and it's become cartoonish, and he's actually become that cartoonish image of himself.
He is.
He runs around, I heard Charles Krauthammer with a great insight. He runs around as he did yesterday saying, I'm going to stick with Obamacare, it doesn't matter. He is a tremendous campaigner, and he thinks if he can bring his campaign skills, the rhetoric, the rhetorical capabilities, the smile, the body language, to a substantive problem, the problem magically goes away. It ain't. And when he tried to do this, folks, with the issue of Islamic Jihad, terrorists following the Islamic ideology, we told you, we predicted, he's going in the wrong direction. It's going to increase the jihad in America. Now we have the number one Democrat on the Intelligence Committee stating the same thing. This is very big news, and we're going to go through it in a minute. And we got some other interesting things for you today, as we always do here on TrentoVision. We want to thank some of our good friends, Rich Swire, great writer with Watchdog Wire. We mentioned BizPack Review. Go to that website, bizpackreview.net. Bare Naked Islam, barenakedislam.com. And, of course, TeaPartyCommunity.com. Tea Party Community, great social networking site.
In fact, we're going to have a guest on who's a member of the Greater Tea Party.
Do we have that guest with us?
No, we don't. But
okay, let's get him.
And
I'll tell the folks how you can watch us. You can listen to us as you are right now in your automobiles on WNN 1470, WNN 1470. WNN, I'm talking into the microphone now, WNN 1470.
Yes.
On the AM dial, we are not a blog talk radio, though we love those folks. We are a very large, very powerful 50,000 watt AM radio station, and it takes shekels to keep the thing rolling. It takes euros to keep the thing rolling. It takes dollars to keep the thing rolling. Please, as the Christmas season, Hanukkah season is coming together right now, seriously consider a significant in light of your position, your economic status, a significant donation. We all just give ourselves 100% to this work, and we know we're very effective at it. So help us out. Go to the United West, theunitedwest.org. Donate securely, and if you want to be secure in terms of understanding and knowing the issues of the day, particularly in Broward County, Florida, which is a very large, very significant Democrat county, south of Palm Beach, north of Miami-Dade County, then this is the guy to talk to, because I'm waiting for a cue.
He's ready.
There he is. Okay. Bob Duff, how are you, Bob, today?
I'm doing fine, Tom. How are you?
Good. You are the co-leader of the Broward Tea Party. That's the correct name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you guys are haters. You hate everything in the world, and you're very dangerous, according to our federal government.
Oh, I'm racist.
What say you, Bob Duff?
I would say that would be an incorrect statement. But no, we love the citizens, and we love what's going on and love this country, and those are the things that we support, and those are our beliefs. We're not haters at all.
And now you have a regular job, and then you do your pro-American activism work on the side. Is that the situation with you?
Yeah, that's correct. I do have a full-time job, luckily, knock on wood, and I'm fortunate enough to have people within the county that asked me to kind of take over and kind of lead and give us some direction with where we're going from a political standpoint, and in supporting the Constitution and free markets and fiscal responsibility.
Oh, he is a hater. He's obviously a hater.
For the sake of our viewers and listeners, and we have many folks that watch from overseas, and their governmental structures are different. In the United States, we have 3 branches of government, and we won't have a civics test now. But in terms of the breakdown in the United States, we have 50 states, or according to the president. 57 states, according to the president. The president of the United States doesn't know how many states are in America.
No, he knows how many
Wants
states
those extra votes.
Yeah.
He knows what 57 states is.
And
That's
each
true.
state is broken down into counties. Here in Florida, we have, 67? Is that it, Bob?
That sounds about right.
And each county is broken down into precincts. There's about 1,000 voters or so per precinct, and the precincts make up counties, and everybody votes very locally. Broward County, Broward, where Bob lives, is a damn tough county. How come, Bob?
Fort Lauderdale area, for those that don't know.
Right, it's challenging. The vast majority of the people that are registered Democrats. However, we do have a large number of registered independents, which is favorable for the conservative like-minded. The other challenge that we have is the DNC's chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Also I should have given you notice.
You have to give us notice.
When you say that name.
We got to hold up something. Here, the Wailing Wall. Let me hold that up. Okay, we're okay here. You can say her name again.
I'll refrain from the complete name, but yeah, it does make it challenging with her in the county. Obviously, there's focus from the Democratic Party down here, and people that are challenging, as well as any other Republicans that want to try to get in office. So.
I was listening to our dear friends at Steve Kane show this morning. By the way, everybody needs to be watching Steve Kane, Brian Craig, 6 to 9 every morning, East Coast time on WNN 1470. And Brian just went off on a rant about Debbie Wasserman Schultz and basically said her butt and her thighs are gigantic. And he went on, and he said he's never seen such giant butt and thighs. Now
come on, Tom.
He was comparing it to Michelle Obama.
Oh, okay.
This is the astute political analysis that Steve and Brian do every morning. Now, they're really very, very good. But I was at APAC one year, and Debbie was in front of me on an escalator going up, and I was with someone else, and I had to hold the person back who was with me from wanting to go up there and greet Debbie. So Debbie Wasserman Schultz is not very well liked by conservatives in this county. You're fighting that battle there. What do you got this weekend that's open to the public that we want to tell the folks about?
Well, we've decided in our meetings, we have monthly meetings the first Tuesday out of every month. And in light of what's going on in the holiday season, we are sponsoring what we're calling a Patriots Picnic over at Brian Piccolo Park. And where we're inviting conservatives, those of like mind, to come over. We're providing food, colleagues to discuss, people to talk to. We decided it was time for people to kind of relax a little bit, not to forget about the issues and the challenges out there, but to give people a weekend that we can come in and feed the folks and talk to them.
Sounds great. We here at TrentoVision, we're doing a million different things, most of which is trying to raise some money to get into next year and some other stuff. Otherwise, we would be there supporting you. We've spoken for your group, and you're doing a tremendous job. Let's stay in touch.
Yep.
Next week, why don't you call in, and we'll get a little review on how things went. And if you want to put some of them baby back ribs aside.
That's right.
Maybe we can pick them up or something, So
We'll work something out for you, Tom. I appreciate you having us on.
All right, good seeing you, Bob Duff.
Your website is www.thebrowardteaparty.com. Is that correct?
Yes. Thank you very much.
And we got your event up there, the meetup group page for you and everything like that. So tell your friends and you can join up for the whole event. All right?
Yeah, and Bob, it's 16 minutes after 3 o'clock on Wednesday the 4th, so you got a couple of days. You can take this show, the link, and email it to your friends. Tell them where your segment is, and they can use it to market the event. And you can find it where, Mark? Where can they find the show?
You can find it at youtube.com/The United West. And just look at the past shows of today, or you can go to theunitedwest.org, and it'll be live at 3 o'clock today, and grab the link from there.
Live at 3 o'clock today. Okay.
Thank you, and God bless you for what you're doing, Tom.
All right. See you guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Yes, we manipulate time here.
Ooh,
It's 17 after 3 o'clock right now.
Yeah, we actually. Go ahead.
17 minutes after 3 o'clock right now. Wednesday the 4th. We're having a grand old time. CJ's not with us. This is a business.
Wait a second, that didn't sound right.
CJ's not with us. What the heck is all this stuff in front of me? It's getting
I know
bigger and bigger and bigger.
You're going to be one of those show hosts where you have to crawl your way through your eclectic.
I know, and we don't even have one of these.
That's right.
Let's at least.
I know.
What is this thing doing here?
Buried alive.
This is from our very good friend, our liaison,
Right.
our liaison to the United Kingdom, Judy. She gave us this. And it's not a flag. It's actually a pretty neat little little
wallet.
Yeah. But you know what?
We have listeners from all over the
checked
world.
this thing. I checked it 20 times. There's not even
There's not a pound in there?
There's not even a pound because those guys don't do euros.
You know, when a Jewish person gives a wallet or a purse as a gift, they usually put 18 cents in it.
Oh, my word.
That's right.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, she is Jewish.
Well, there should be 18
owes
cents
us
in there.
18 cents.
Should most certainly be.
Judy,
That's
you
high.
owe us 18 cents.
That's high. It's good luck.
I know. But with all due respect, I'll tell you what we'll do, because we love the Brits. How about that?
Okay.
That's
right.
nice. Oh, we just need a little Israeli flag for in there. Where's the
we
chicken?
Get one of
No,
those.
we're not making Tom's desk more
It's like the
eclectic than
UN
it is.
over there.
I
Oh,
know.
no, it's not.
There
It's
we
the
go.
anti-UN.
There you go.
There we go.
There you
That's
go.
pretty good. Oh, we show those books back there. That could be
Yeah.
dangerous. No.
Okay.
That's okay. As long as not everything is shown. Hey, look, the way we do business, folks, we're real. What you see is what you get.
WYSIWYG. That's
Yeah,
all.
WYSIWYG. For the most part. Sometimes you don't see stuff we're doing, and you get quite a bit from it, which is why you need to donate. So we ask you for that help.
Okay.
My name is Tom Trento. I direct an organization called The United West. Not United West, that's an airlines. You know, that'd be good to direct, but I don't. It's The United West. We are an educational organization, thus the 501c3 IRS designation. It's a charitable organization that's doing a good for humanity. Calling out the Muslim terrorists and President Obama. Yeah! And that's the best damn thing you can do for humanity, both
Yeah.
of those things.
Yeah, buddy.
We don't hate Muslims per se, because they're human beings. We don't even hate the president. What we do hate is the disrespect that the president has for the office of president and the direction he's taking this country. So we have to fight him until he changes his policies, or we have to obstruct his policies. This is the way a democracy works. One party tries to do one thing, the other party tries to either help or stop it, and in this case, we got to stop a guy who wants to bring us quickly to communism through the process of capitalistic socialism.
And we call people we call the terrorist a terrorist. Whenever we see one, we designate them and we throw them
Quack,
out.
quack. If it quacks like a terrorist, it's a terrorist.
Just like our friend Hassan Shibli.
Yeah. And however they want to define that term is fine with them. We'll define it exactly the way it ought to be defined. And we do, and we'll show you more of that. Right now, though, we need to go to the octogenarian, the 80-year-old Dianne Feinstein out of California. We're going to show you two short videos. Let's do the 1-minute one first. To introduce her and Mike Nichols. We ran into Mike Nichols at the debate for Romney that was at Lynn University back in October.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we interviewed him. In fact,
I remember him.
I think it was Ruth. I think Ruth interviewed him, or
she
CJ,
interviewed
somebody.
him. Yeah, I remember him.
Oh, by the way, CJ's not here. She's doing a bunch of Hanukkah stuff today.
Yeah.
And other things.
Hanukkah.
What we need is, you know the 12 Days of Christmas, that song? We need the 12 Lies of Obama. How about that?
Oh, we're working on it.
Are we
already
working on it?
started
We're working on it.
today.
On the first day of Obama. Okay, we're working on it.
All right, but first we still have.
Oh, wait a minute. My body's being taken over.
Here we go.
I'll do interpretive dance to this.
You look like the lady on the streets in Santa Monica.
There you go, Adam Sandler.
Put on your yarmulke.
It's time for Hanukkah.
So much Hanukkah to celebrate.
Want to see my interpretive dance?
Okay.
Still doing
All right,
the
let's get
interpretive
to
dance?
Yeah, but you need music when you do interpretive dance. All right, enough of the jocularity.
You'd think this would be
Jocularity.
Freaky Friday or something. It's
Yeah.
spooky in
You
here.
would think this is a bad comedy show. We're a very serious national security show. Sometimes it's comedic, and
No.
sadly today, very comedic. We have, and here's the context for this first 1-minute video. Mike Nichols, who's the mirror image of Dianne Feinstein on the House side. He's on the Select Committee for Intelligence on the House side, the chair. She's on the Senate side. These two get briefed at the highest levels. They know what's going on.
Yes, they do.
And Dianne Feinstein is a hardcore leftist, anti-gun, anti-everything conservatives are for. For her to say, folks, what she said on Candy Crowley on, I think it was CNN this past weekend, take a look.
I don't think so. I think terror is up worldwide. The statistics indicate that. The fatalities are way up. The numbers are way up. There are new bombs, very big bombs, trucks being reinforced for those bombs. There are bombs that go through magnetometers. The bomb maker is still alive. There are more groups than ever, and there is huge malevolence out there.
So, Congressman, I have to say, that is not the answer I expected. I expected...
Hold it.
What was
Look,
the answer that she
agree?
expected?
we have to freeze this because this is very, very important show right now, folks, at 23 minutes after 3 o'clock. Here's why it's so critically important. As you know, I'm one of the privileged, honored authors of Sharia, The Threat to America. You know, that book that I don't have with me right now. That's okay. We only have 1,000
of them in the room, right?
That book
Go ahead.
has 19 different authors, many of whom have spent illustrious careers in either the United States military, like General Jerry Boykin, good friend of ours, or Admiral Ace Lyons. He was the commander of the Pacific Fleet at one time.
Yes.
We've got folks in there that were in intelligence, like Major Steve Coughlin, Claire Lopez, the agency. We have FBI folks, John Guandola. We have writers like Patrick Poole. We have Andy McCarthy, Jim Woolsey, the head of the CIA, Mike Del Rosso. I mean, really amazing people. And we wrote this book, Sharia, the Threat. And if you do not have a copy, contact me, Tom at TrentoVision.tv. Tom at TrentoVision.tv. We'll get you a copy. If you can make a donation to cover it, that's great. If you can't, it's okay. We want you to have the book. But the book was written 2 years ago, and it lays out the threat doctrine that is rooted in the Sharia, the jurisprudential system of law in Islam. And we analyze the threat doctrine. Then we analyze the past behavior of Muslims who operationalized the threat doctrine. And then we drew logical conclusions as to what is going to happen if you leave them alone, them being the Islamic jihadis, Muslim jihadis. Then we said, this administration, the Obama administration, not only is not leaving them alone, not only is he not trying to defeat them, He is indeed what, guys? What is he doing?
Increasing them, accelerating their activity, encouraging their activity, doing I tell you what, you could not encourage them anymore by any other means than what he's doing. He's doing 180 opposite of what needs to be done.
This administration that has 6 Muslim Brotherhood advisors, and Damon, you just put together a beautiful little 12-minute video. Where can people see that video?
They can go to youtube.com/TheUnitedWest. It is right there under uploads. It is also in show shorts.
What's the name of it?
It is called Domesticated Terrorists Amongst Us.
Domesticated terrorists amongst us, ? And it's a parts of a speech I gave on the 19th of November in Nokomis, Florida, cut together to establish the point that that when the president said this in one of his many speeches,
Al-Qaeda is on the path to defeat and Osama bin Laden is dead.
when he said that, we said, what the hell is this guy smoking? Is he nuts? Then we said, it must be re-election time. And that stuff was being said all over the place. Let the folks hear what the president said once again.
Well, he said it many
Said
times.
we'd refocus on the people who actually attacked us on 9/11. And today, Al-Qaeda's on the run and Osama bin Laden is dead.
And now what does Dianne Feinstein say to what the president said?
Go ahead.
On our intelligence services to get it right to prevent an attack.
This is Mike Nichols, the head of the Select Committee on Intelligence on the House side.
See the Al-Qaeda as we knew it before is metastasizing to something different.
Metastasizing.
More affiliates than we've ever had before, meaning
hang
more
on.
groups that
Does
operate
metastasizing
independently of
mean
Al-Qaeda.
on the run?
No, I think it means it's changing into various forms and kind of like a hydra.
And what did Dianne Feinstein say if we don't have the video racked up?
Malevolence out there.
Oh, here we go.
So, Congressman, I have to say, that is not the answer I expected. I expected to hear, oh, we're safer, do you agree?
Oh, I absolutely agree that we're not safer today for the same very reason. So the pressure on our intelligence services to get it right.
Let me see. Let me hear these guys.
Are enormous, and it's getting more difficult because we see the Al-Qaeda as we knew it before is metastasizing to something different. More affiliates than we've ever had before, meaning more groups that operated independently of Al-Qaeda have now joined Al-Qaeda around the world. All of them have at least some aspiration to commit an act of violence in the United States or against Western targets all around the world. They've now switched to this notion that maybe smaller events are okay. So if you have more smaller events than bigger events, they think that might still lead to their objectives and their goals. That makes it exponentially harder for our intelligence services to stop an event like that.
Because essentially one person can do a small event.
Absolutely.
Okay, what do they mean by events? Have a party? Have a Hanukkah party?
When they say groups, do they mean like volunteers, like the Red Cross or stuff like that?
All right, this is a very important interview, folks. We're gonna deconstruct and analyze this interview and then draw applications. And if you got to jump out of your car 29 minutes after 3 o'clock on the East Coast, we recommend you pull over before you jump out of your car. A very important point. In light of that little piece of advice on driving, I've been thinking about doing some driving tips for our folks out there. We go on the road and we do some driving tips. I think we'll do that down the road as an added benefit for watching the show.
Right.
We'll take you in some unique situations and show you how to handle them. But when he's talking about Mike Nichols, when he's talking about events, what is he referring to?
Terrorist events.
He's killing people. Talking about, I wouldn't even use that term event. I would advise Mike, don't use the term event. When these groups, when the Muslim jihadi groups go and try to kill people uniquely in an operation, in a jihad operation. Got to get away from these words that don't carry the full weight of what is actually going on. But did Candy Crowley look like she ate a cow? Say that 3 times fast.
Hey.
Say that 3 times fast.
She
Candy
already
Crowley
looked like
ate
she ate a cow. Did Candy Crowley look like she ate a cow? Did Candy Crowley look like she ate a cow? Did Candy Crowley look like she ate a cow? Yes.
Okay,
Now Candy Crowley's in the room. God, thanks. It's like Beetlejuice, you know?
Oh, right. Davey Wasserman Schultz and Candy Crowley.
all in one day.
Boy.
What are we coming to?
All we need is Lois Frankel to pop in here, too.
Candy Crowley.
I heard there's a rumor that Lois Frankel might have to run in the Democratic primary.
Oh, really?
Just a rumor. I heard she might face some opposition in the primary.
That's right.
Do you remember Candy Crowley was one of the moderators in one of the debates? with the
Yes.
She's good friends with the president.
Rose Garden. No. He said it at the Rose Garden.
Yeah, she's correcting the debaters.
Right.
Sorry, Mitt. Here it is. Oh, I just happen to have the tape right here.
Unbelievable. But the point we're making today on the 4th of December, 31 minutes after the hour changes depending on what time zone you are in. The point we are making today is that we, the counter-jihad movement, comprised of some of the organizations you may know, Act for America, good group, headed up by Brigitte Gabriel, Frank Gaffney, Center for Security Policy, David Horowitz's group out in California, the Freedom Center. What are some other groups we work with that are fairly well? The blogs, Bare Naked Islam.
Bare Naked Islam. And, you know, just the Tea Party groups are becoming more aware of the situation, and they're calling you to speak. And, like, for example, down at Venice, they have that with, you know,
Patriot group.
So we have this coalition of groups growing that basically said to the president when he made these comments, this isn't true. You know, why are you lying to us that Al-Qaeda is on the run? Any simpleton Googling Al-Qaeda, you know, could see they're not on the run. They're reorganizing like any good military element. They're reorganizing to attack. On the run means they're trying to get away. No, they're trying to reorganize to attack more efficiently. And now you have your top senator in the Intelligence Committee, Dianne Feinstein, saying Tom Trento and Andy McCarthy and Frank Gaffney and Robert Spencer, Jihad Watch, and Pamela Geller, Atlas Shrugs, all those people were actually right. All of those people were actually right. Now, do we gloat in the fact that we understand national security better than the president does, who has the access to all the agencies and organizations?
Yeah, but all the agents have access to him, all the foreign agents. That's the problem.
It was like your
No, we grieve. We don't gloat. We grieve for our country that this is the state of affairs.
It was like your point earlier, Tom, when you're making your statement. He's a campaigner. So if it sounds good on the campaign, you don't have to verify or back it up. You say it. And that's this statement that he made.
I said we'd focus on the terrorists who actually attacked us on 9/11, and we have, and bin Laden is dead.
Yeah!
That's a campaign speech. That was
really
his
is.
campaign stump. It actually was his stump speech.
The product is good. The
product is- yeah.
The product is good. Like, how can you even call Obamacare, quote, a product? Healthcare would necessarily be the product. All he's done is create an obstacle to buying insurance. So how is a legislatively created obstacle to purchasing insurance a, quote, good product?
Well,
I'm very curious.
I can explain.
He's the shiny package on the package, and with a great little mistake till you open up the can and there's nothing there.
It all started about 30 years ago. When Tom Trento was a young activist running around the country, I had a talk called A Culture in Crisis. And I laid out that with the development of the education department at a federal level, once the federal government takes over education and starts to centralize, because the centralization of anything requires the lowest common denominator.
Right.
To get everybody to come on board, more people, you got to lower the bar. Once you create a Department of Education, which sadly was created, I believe, during Reagan's administration, then we all said the bar is going to be lowered in education, and the succeeding generations of students are going to be dumbed down. And once you start dumbing people down, then leadership can lead with less information and more personal emotional gratification, less analytical information. So we saw a cultural shift that said, this is going to be bad in the future. We're going to have a lot of dumb people in America.
Right.
And you get somebody as smart and good-looking and glib as the president, and he doesn't know what color he is, but he came in at this moment in history, and because people are dumb, basically, he appeared as a great messiah for many, many people. And that's how he's leading us, and that's how he missed the boat on national security.
Well, I don't think he missed it.
I don't think he missed the boat on national security either.
Well,
I think it's completely intentional.
He missed the boat in terms of where the boat should be. Why did he miss the boat? Because he wanted to miss the boat. He wanted to go in another direction, of course.
Right.
Yeah, he's got an agenda, of course.
And also, just to amplify what you're saying, that dumbing down, lowest common denominator has permeated every facet of our life today. For example, you look at, you go TSA. What is TSA all about? Okay, everybody's a terrorist. Everyone's a terrorist because we have to lower it down to everything.
Yeah, everyone's a terrorist.
But do you understand what I'm saying? You've got the grandmother coming through there. She's got to take off her shoes. So you've lowered the bar down to everything. And that's just one of the systemic problems. And it goes through everything that we come into now, which is in context of government.
It's getting worse. Our one of our stories today, if we get to it, is on
so much for that.
If we get to it, is on the president and his view on immigration. Big immigration issue standing before
Once
everybody.
again, we lower the comment.
The link in that story, you're talking about the Earl Cox story?
Yep.
The link in that and how it ties immigration to his feelings on the Middle East is just so full circle. It's absolutely amazing. I hope we do get to it. If not,
we'll do
we got to
tomorrow.
tell people about it.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's go back. I want to show now the complete interview with Candy Crowley talking to, now let's do the 5-minute one.
I got it.
To Candy Crowley talking to Mike Nichols, the head of the Select House Committee on Intelligence, and his co-patriot on the other side. He's a Republican, Mike Nichols, and minority party, and the majority party of the House, majority party of the Senate. Dianne Feinstein, 80-year-old Dianne Feinstein. She's doing a pretty good job.
She looks good for 80.
Yeah. You would like that, Schmuck.
I would like that. She's married though, and I don't think she digs the poor guys from the King's Point with that $100 million in the bank.
What would you do if she called you up and said, "Can you show me around South Florida, Schmuck?"
I would be there in a heartbeat.
You like her, don't you?
She's a very good-looking lady for 80.
For 80 years old. What does, where's Abdullah? Is he in the room? Abdullah, get in here, Abdullah.
Yes, Tom, how can I help you? I'm very busy in the other room with the mailman.
What do you think of Dianne Feinstein? Imam Abdullah?
I am not very happy to hear what she say. I believe that the proper way to deal with terrorism is more like Obama and pretend it has been defeated and do not talk about it because it makes it so much easier for my friends.
Al-Qaeda's been decimated. Osama bin Laden is dead.
You mean like that?
Yes, exactly.
All right, well, let's go, folks. You're driving in your cars at 40 minutes. After the hour, or you're somewhere in the United States or somewhere in the world, we really want you to pay attention. Very significant sea change, possibly, a very unique transition in the way the key Democrat in the Intelligence Committee is viewing the existential jihad, the kinetic jihad. Now, she makes one mistake, and listen carefully. She reveals information that some of us knew might be happening because we got it from people that aren't supposed to say what's going on.
Right.
When she
So
talks
how
about,
did you know?
When she talks about these large bombs and more of them and all of that, she is privy to the top intelligence that's coming. She's scared out of her mind.
She should
right?
be.
See, this thing is political if you're a Democrat when it's over there. When she sees they're over here, and just today, see what happened in Mexico?
No.
With the hijacked truck, Cobalt 60, hijacked truck today, actually yesterday. Today's the 4th of December, Wednesday. Yesterday in Mexico, a truck carrying radioactive material, medical material, Cobalt 60, I think it is. Cobalt 60 was hijacked. And what do we know about Mexico and radioactive material and terrorism?
Well, all I know is that at least Hezbollah is not working with the Mexican cartels. Oh, no.
That's off the table. That's off the. I'm sorry.
Wait, they are.
That's all right. We've been
Yes,
saying
Hezbollah is working with the drug cartels because they both have mutually assured desires, and they're working together that way. We have been saying this for several years. The Democrats are going, oh, you hate Muslims. Hezbollah is working with drug cartels. We hate Muslims.
Right.
How do you get that out of that?
How do you come to that conclusion? Right.
Why? Because they don't want to face reality. Most Democrats, except Dianne Feinstein, does. Let's watch Candy Crowley become apoplectic.
Yeah, because she's expecting to hear Obama's words come out of her mouth.
And remember, everyone keep your sandwiches away from candy.
Yes. You reach through the radio and grab your sandwich. Tom, you
out there more. And why is that?
I think there is a real displaced aggression in this very fundamentalist, jihadist, Islamic community. And that is that the West is responsible for everything that goes wrong. And that the only thing that's going to solve this is Islamic Sharia law and the concept of the Caliphate. And I see more groups, more fundamentalists, more jihadists.
That same segment right there, very important. What you're going to hear right now, folks, is Dianne Feinstein speaking like Frank Gaffney.
I know. Is that Frank Gaffney in drag?
She's. He said
I think he's going to like that.
Mark said that. No, but it's the spirit of Frank Gaffney finding itself in an octogenarian, however that works.
I'll bet you they have probably known each other for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
Yep. And,
maybe something's worn off after 4 decades.
Yeah, and we know that Center for Security Policy, Frank Gaffney's shop, is doing tremendous work on the Hill trying to inform, educate, brief people.
I'm sure she got some of this information.
Maybe Frank was in Mike Nichols' office and Dianne Feinstein was walking by and Frank very loudly said all this stuff and it stuck to Dianne.
Frank doesn't very loudly say very much.
But, right.
Go back to the beginning.
Yeah, Dianne Feinstein lays out again, she's trying to be a little politically correct without saying, like we say, Muslim jihadis. So she has Muslim extremists and all this other stuff in there.
Radicals.
But it's okay. She within her long 4-word, adjectives, she got it right. Then she talked about a threat, a diabolical, malevolent threat. And then she talked about the solution. What is the solution from the enemy's point of view?
Sharia law.
Sharia law, which is the Sharia, the threat to America, our book, the repository of the threat doctrine of Islam.
And you also said one other thing very important.
Did she say Caliphate too?
No, I don't think she said Caliphate. But she might say it later, but she didn't say it then. But what's interesting, I think she really nailed it on a personal level, is that we are the fault of everything. America, the West, Judaism, Israel is not responsible for any actions.
Your friend Mark here has learned to see the light.
Yes, but that's the key cornerstone personally for them is we are the fault of everything.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to play it again, folks, and we want to drive this point home. Our show, TrentoVision, this show right here, is designed to edumacate people, okay, or edutainment. We play around a little bit, but we want you to leave with information that dramatically changes the way you think, the way you live. So 336 days from today, when you walk in that little booth and you've got to pull a lever, the levers you pulled recognize the seriousness of the Islamic jihad, and you vote for people that understand this stuff and are going to do something about it. And they're not Democrats, okay? I tell you that right now. But maybe some are changing.
Getting there. So.
Let's listen to that segment, and then we'll go on and we'll make some application after listening. This is good stuff.
At least we have tomorrow's show script ready.
Yes, we do.
To get to where they want to get. So it's not an isolated phenomenon. You see these groups spread a web of connections. And this includes North Africa, it includes the Middle East, it includes other areas as well.
Lots of times we look at kind of some of these splinter groups going, yeah, but their interest is local.
Yeah, and here's the concern of that. Now remember, you have somewhere near 25 states that have some failed level of governance, meaning they can't secure large spaces of their own country. Those are always attractive for safe havens when it comes to any terrorist organization. And we're finding they're taking advantage of that. So you see what's happening in a place like Syria, where you have a pooling of al-Qaeda members and affiliates of al-Qaeda in a way we've never seen before, at the level of numbers that we have never seen before. And here's the scary part of this. Some thousands of people showing up to participate in that, in their mind, jihadist effort are Westerners, meaning they have Western passports.
Hang on.
A percentage of them have already.
That wasn't the segment that I wanted to replay. Is the segment coming after this or before it, or are we kind of lost in the sauce here?
I think I'm lost in the sauce.
Okay.
I started right back at the beginning.
Yeah, no, that wasn't it. But you hear what he just said? I have not heard that number. He said that thousands, we know thousands of jihadis
Right.
are leaving Yemen, Libya, Tunisia, Egypt,
Right.
Jordan, and going to fight in Syria for the jihad.
Right.
But he said thousands of Westerners.
Oh, I didn't hear Westerners.
But we're going to have to replay that because I think he's mistaken, even though he's on the select. I think he means thousands of jihadis.
Well,
there aren't thousands of Westerners. If there are, we're totally screwed.
Yeah, well, the FBI has been stating that there's dozens, not
That makes more
thousands.
sense, yeah.
Now, the interesting part about this interview also is you're looking at, he's saying all these things which a year ago she'd be calling him crazy. She's saying-
Absolutely.
and she's nodding her head like, yep, the whole way. She's not showing any type of body language of disagreement.
She being Dianne Feinstein,
Right,
the
sitting right
Democrat
there.
who has been
on CNN.
on CNN.
Yes,
This-
it is. I think I
this is
shall have
groundbreaking.
Bin Talil, Prince Bin Talil, give her a talking to because I do not like the language out of this woman's mouth.
Let's.
you can't do that.
I want
It's on the
to
box.
replay. I want to replay the Dianne Feinstein piece where she talks about the jihadis and Sharia law. Can we find that?
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Yeah, let's play
Yeah,
that.
go all the way to the beginning of the.
Because this is key.
Right there.
I mean, this should be our new opener. You know, juxtaposed with Obama saying, "Oh, Osama's dead and Al Qaeda's on the run," and she goes, "They want Sharia law in the United States of America."
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Including the United States, by the way, is included in that Western number.
Jump it. Keep jumping.
We are very, very concerned that these
Jump
folks who
in,
have Western papers.
Juma, Wednesday
One of the things that
video.
the senator said was that there is more hatred out there, more, and why is that?
I think there is a real displaced aggression in this very fundamentalist jihadist Islamic community, and that is that the West is responsible for everything that goes wrong.
Important point.
And that the only thing that's going to solve this is Islamic Sharia law and the concept of the Caliphate.
The Caliphate.
And
Oh, she did say
more
Caliphate.
Groups,
Way to go,
more
Diane.
fundamentalists,
Nailed it.
more jihadists, more determined to kill to get to where they want to get. So it's not an isolated phenomenon. You see these groups spread a web of connections. And this includes North Africa, it includes the Middle East, it includes other areas as well.
Lots of times we look at kind of some of these splinter groups going, yeah, but their interest is local.
Yeah, and here's the concern of
This
that.
is
Now,
Mike
remember, you have
Nichols now talking.
somewhere near 25 states that have some
Congressman.
failed level of governance, meaning they
Republican.
can't secure large spaces of their own country. Those are always attractive for safe havens when it comes to any terrorist organization. And we're finding they're taking advantage of that. So you see what's happening in a place like Syria,
Arizona,
where you have a pooling of al-Qaeda members
say?
and affiliates of al-Qaeda
Syria.
in a way we've never seen before, at the level of numbers that we have never seen before. And here's the scary part of this. Some thousands of people showing up to participate in that, in their mind, jihadist effort are Westerners, meaning they have Western passports. A percentage of them have already gone home, including the United States, by the way, is included in that Western number. We are very, very concerned that these folks who have Western paper have gone there, participated in combat events, are trained, are further radicalized. now have the ability to go back in Western countries. We know that
apply that trade.
Well, apply that trade, and now they have a direct connection to Al-Qaeda affiliates operating in a place where most people would say, well, we have no interests in Syria. Well, clearly we do, and clearly that's just one place, and it's starting to spread. You saw what happened in Lebanon recently,
right.
where they blew up the Iranian embassy. This is all starting to spread. Iraq is having its problems now. It's spreading into Lebanon. Jordan has issues. Turkey along the border has issues. This is very, very, very concerning.
There is now a bomb that can go through magnetometers. People can get on aircraft with those bombs. They have tried to send 4 of them into this country, 2 of them in printer cartridges, one by Abdul Muttalib, and one an asset was able to obtain out of Yemen. These were coming into this country, 2 of them aimed at synagogues in Illinois. Now, having said that, the only way you could stop this is with intelligence. The only way you can stop that is putting clues together to ferret out where this is coming from.
So where is our weakest point?
Keep
Well,
going.
I mean, I think that the threat level has never been more diverse than it is today, and that's one of the bigger, I think, concerns that we have, and I think why we both would agree that the threat is higher today and we are probably less safe, is the more efforts they try, the more perfect you have to be in order to stop something, and that's a huge challenge.
And lucky.
And so you think about what's happened with the recent disclosures. We have now 3 Al-Qaeda affiliate groups have changed the way they communicate, means it's less likely that we're going to be able to detect something prior to an event that goes operational, meaning that they've already started the final planning stages to blow something up or shoot someone. And so we're fighting amongst ourselves here in this country about the role of our intelligence community that is having an impact on our ability to stop what is a growing number of threats. And so we've got to shake ourselves out of this pretty soon and understand that our intelligence services are not the bad guys. The bad guys, the Al-Qaeda affiliates, Russian intelligence services, Chinese intelligence services, the Quds Force that operates terrorism events all around the world, those are the folks we need to focus our attention and our energy on in order to keep America safe.
So it seems to me what both of you are saying is that you haven't liked this focus on the NSA and the complaints about the NSA in terms of the breadth of what they're collecting.
Well, I would argue it allows them to focus on the problem. We spend a lot of time now internally focused. I can't tell you the thousands of man hours they have spent trying to prepare people to understand fact from fiction, what is happening versus what is not happening. And we both of our committees take great pride in our real oversight function, of which we participate in, to make sure they're not violating the law. Well, we've had to recreate all of that work over and over and over again every time there's a disclosure, and our fear is, every time we do that, we take them away from their focus, which is, what is Al-Qaeda's next event? Who is moving somewhere in the world that's trying to get into the United States or an allied country to kill somebody? And that part seems to have gotten lost in the fact that we have new threats. I think people think, what the senator was talking about, Dianne was talking about, was people think, well, we've got this thing beat. It's kind of over. We don't really have to worry about Al-Qaeda anymore. And what we see is that's just not the case.
But hold on, Tom. Hold on, Tom.
Al-Qaeda is on the path to defeat, and Osama bin Laden is dead.
Yeah!
I'd rather hear that, Tom. I'd rather hear that.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
That was 4 or 5 minutes of the most important information that many folks who don't follow national security regularly ought to listen to. You have the 2 top people. Civics lesson. How many branches of government are there in the United States?
Now or supposed to
Now,
be?
5. There's 5, actually.
How many
right
are
now.
there supposed to be?
3.
What are they?
The czars.
The czars.
Okay.
Legislative, judicial, and executive.
Legislative, judicial, executive. What
EPA.
branch do those 2 belong to?
Congress
Which is?
the legislative.
Legislative. So we have 2 legislators, people that make laws,
Senate and the House.
from both sides of the aisle, Democrat, Republican, and both
Sides of the
chambers,
hill.
the Senate and the Congress. And they're both speaking with unanimity. They're both saying we've got a huge Muslim problem, Muslim jihadi problem.
Yes.
We've
It
got,
is a jihadi problem, not a Muslim problem, you Islamophobe.
yes, it's Italian jihadi, Christian jihadis.
That's right.
When I say the word jihadi, the assumption is, why be redundant? Muslim jihadi, okay? When you get mad, it's the other way around. When I say Muslim and mean jihadi also, you go, oh, that's not right.
I will be mad at you regardless.
Yes, I know.
It's your fault. It's all your fault.
So we got the legislative branch with its leaders in the intelligence communities, intelligence committees, saying, we've got a problem. We've seen these bombs coming through. We've seen new tactics, new procedures. We've got to do something about it. But how do you do, what can the legislative branch do when the executive branch is in total disagreement with them?
Focus on the people who actually attacked us on 9/11. And today, Al-Qaeda's on the run and Osama bin Laden is dead.
This president, folks, this president is more concerned about leaving his legacy,
Right.
which is establishing social change in America, than what the brunt of our show has been about, national security for Americans. It is near treasonous. Now, he's bombing people with drones. I saw a funny thing last night. They're starting to do all these cartoons and commercials about drone use because Amazon is using drones possibly to deliver packages. You're familiar with that?
Yeah. I saw the 60 Minutes special. It was actually pretty cool.
Well, did you see the one where there's two Muslim Taliban guys sitting? It's just a print ad. Did you see it, Damon?
No.
No, I can imagine.
Two guys, total, the turbans, the whole thing, sitting in a desert, with their AKs, and one guy says he hears a noise above. And one guy says to the other, he goes, "Hey, Saddam, are you expecting a delivery from Amazon today?" It is a drone, an American drone with Hellfire missiles. It's got Amazon on the side of it. Are you expecting a delivery? That is funny.
Actually, that was a pretty cool segment. Yeah.
But this president, President Obama, he's more concerned now about forcing Obamacare and immigration through so that he can solidify Democrat vote for the next 20, 30 years than for seriously protecting this country. He's lied to us on Obamacare, he's lied to us on virtually everything. And he's lying on national security issues. And we have his own party, leaders in his own party, essentially calling him out on it. We're going to pursue this because this is critically important. We are right. The conservative counter-jihad movement in America for the past 8 years has nailed this thing directly, predicted what was going to happen, identifying what is happening, saying what we need to do about it. This administration not only doesn't understand the threat, but they have at least six Muslim Brotherhood operatives advising them. There's 6 foxes in the hen house. There they are on our screen right now. Frustrating information. I think we need to leave our show by, what do we have, a minute left, or what do we have left?
Well, we got the Amazon drone up there.
Okay, no, that's not the Amazon one.
It is.
There is one. No, it's a Grim Reaper one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Find that one. Big Grim Reaper with Hellfire missiles, and it says Amazon right on the side.
That'll have to be for tomorrow.
Okay. But you're fast. You guys are fast.
Yeah, we're fast.
All right, we got a few seconds
Here,
left.
flash this up, though, real quick. Come over to net one.
What?
Here's how I'd like to end.
This is out of Frank Gaffney Center for Security Policy. Reads Los Zetas and Hezbollah.
And I see a black screen, so...
There's nothing there. Go
Okay,
back.
all right, come back to
It's
it
basically Hezbollah.
tomorrow. We're going to pick this up tomorrow. But what we need to do, I think the way to sign off our show today, because national security is so critically important and it's not partisan and ought not be partisan, this president has made it. Why don't we give a rousing closing round of applause to the octogenarian in the Senate in the Democrat Party, Miss Dianne Feinstein. Thank you very much, Dianne, for stepping up to the plate. You got it right.
Yes.
And we'll work with you
On that
to
one,
work
yes.
against your
100%,
president.
1000%.
Have a good day. See you. Bye.